If all the people in the world would be clever, nice and generally spoken sane, we would not need laws. It would be enough to say, hey, don't be a dick. And we all would live a life in harmony. The thing is, it's not like that. A lot of stupid people think that they are indeed clever by stealing, hurting and generally violating other people for gain. And there is of course this grey zone where you can behave like a dick, but people like that. Like when you sell them an overpriced piece of hardware that is really cool because it is overpriced. Is that a lame move? Yeah, of course, but people have every right to be treated badly if they really want it. To manage this area of black and dark grey, we had to invent laws. Most of our law systems of the past were pretty compact, like the Ten Commandments or the Codex of Hammurabi. Those systems were simple and elegant, but had to be interpreted because they were not very specific about when is what and why. You see, if I go into a forest and pick a flower, is it death? Well, it depends, blah 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 blah. Laws therefore started to clarify and became therefore quite lengthy, and it was just a question of time that you end up in a situation that one single person is not be able anymore to know the whole law system. But again, the reason was a good reason. It was the reason to clarify the whole thing. And if simple would be always better, an argument that is upheld by the anarchists, don't be a dick, would be enough. And perhaps in a shiny utopian future, it will be enough. The next question is, do you want a law that is transparent and fair? The question is important because a lot of people, especially those with power, money and a degree in law, are often not interested in that. But if you are, how do you fix it? Well, I started to think about the solution when Böhmermann was attacked in Germany by Erdogan with a law that came from the times of the Prussian Empire, in other words, 3 versions of government ago. And it was quite ridiculous that this law still existed. Why did it still exist? Well, the reason for that is there is absolutely no reason that you should delete it. It's like these vacant army bases in America. Why tear it down if you just can ignore them? Why bother? Imagine our world would be unlimited. Nobody would ever tear something down. We would just move on. The problem there is that the law can do that. You don't have to tear something down if you don't collide extremely with other laws. You can just ignore them. So you pile up more and more outdated stuff that partially contradicts other stuff that is there, but nobody's even aware of that because nobody is able to know all the important stuff, let alone the outdated, unimportant stuff. But still, it's law, and if somebody is able to find it and dig it out, he can use it, which can then result in very silly situations like we have seen with Böhmermann, who was accused of abusive criticism of a leader of another nation, which dates back to the time where it meant Majestätsbeleidigung, le majesté, an offense against a king, which dates back to Rome. And am I right here? There is really no English word for that. Yeah, whatever. Well, what to do then? Well, limit the amount of symbols in the law. If you state that the law can never exceed, let's say, 50 million symbols, which translates roughly into 10,000 pages, you end up with a compact law that has plenty space for all the stuff that is needed to be regulated, and every citizen would be able to understand it. I mean, don't get me wrong, 10,000 pages is still a lot, but it is manageable. I'm not a lawyer, I dodged this bullet a long time ago, so you can discuss how many symbols you need. I don't care. The core idea is that it has to be limited. If you want a new law in this system and you don't have enough symbols left, you have to get rid of outdated stuff you don't need anymore. Additionally, you would have to implement, of course, that a new law has to be kept for some years in a, let's say, test run, and if it works, it has to remain there for at least 10 years, so you can avoid that you redesign the law every other year. The same system should, of course, be applied to all rules, regulations, and so on. If we would do that, we would end up in a system where the law system has to be cared for. It would not be an impenetrable jungle, it would be a garden that everybody is able to travel safely within. You would still need a guide, because this garden would be big after all, but you can understand where you are and what you do where you stand. This change would be in the best interest of most of the people, but not in the best interest of the guides, who make quite a good life navigating people through the jungle, and those who hide themselves, their might, their money, and a lot of corpses within this jungle. For them, the system is not broken. It is how it shall be. This is why the system is broken for the rest of us. Thanks for watching. I want to take a moment to thank my first Patreon, Jeremy. Jeremy, thank you very much. You have a special place in my heart. And I want to thank the rest of you for the great comments in the comment section. Like, share and subscribe if you like it. And have a wonderful day.